Hello, welcome to a new Café con R, and also welcome to a new Coffee with R. I have a new person here, which is living in Brazil, and he's Felipe Burman from GLR Tech. And how do you say this in Portuguese? Because I like you to do a little bit in Portuguese in order to present yourself.
We say we
Felipe,
say
welcome,
GLR
well, let's talk and have fun today.
for sure. Thank you for the invitation. I'm glad to be here. And by the way, we say GLR Tech in Portuguese. It's almost the same.
That sounds nice. But in order to go ahead with this program, can you tell me a little bit why did you choose uh, all this technology? Because you're in the cleaning, I would say, very easy. You're in the cleaning idea of how to get a cleaner air and how you can contribute with the ecology in the world. Is that right?
Yes, yes. So actually, everything that you can see behind you, at the least in your official or fake screen, is beautiful mountains, and it's probably Rio de Janeiro, I don't know, but
It
it
is.
yeah, okay. So when I see that, I remember the place where I was born. I was born in a small city, Atibaia, the name. It's a city surrounded by mountains, and I always loved hiking. I always loved to get lost in the middle of the nature in order to find myself in a good way. It's a very good place to meditation and so on. And because this city was surrounded by mountains, the climate there was amazing. It was the second best climate in the world. The
Where
first
is
best,
it?
Atibaia in São Paulo.
Ah,
Yeah, a few decades ago, it was the second best climate in the world. The first best climate was in Switzerland, in one small city there. But after, with all the industries in São Paulo, the climate there is no longer very good. But anyway, I remember that was a very good climate. And then when I was like around 16 years old, I moved to São Paulo, which is this big city here. And because it's a big city, I really felt inside my body the change that the bad climate made to my health. It was really hard to run, to play basketball, to do exercise in general. And I was only like, a teenager. And after that, I decided that I needed to do something in this world, but I didn't have a clue what to do until I became until I completed 27 or 28 years old. But I knew that inside of my mind that I wanted to do something. And when the change came, to be like someone that have the chance to make this startup in order to reduce air pollution and avoid climate change and so on, I just became like very excited to make it happen. Really, really excited. But I can say
well,
more details about how the change came and
yeah,
so on.
sure. Well, it's amazing how I mean, so a dream coming from nature, it became true, and then now you have a startup, which is you have a really nice solution on the way for the sustainable use of the diesels and everything. And I was, digging in your website and looking all the things that you have performed around the world. I mean, and it's amazing. And this is where I would like to go deeper because something I was really curious about that you went to Saudi Arabia, you was invited there, and there are a few details that are hiding in the news that you can, show us to the audience.
Mhm.
Please let us know.
Yeah, wow. Actually, just to make a bridge between the beginning and the Saudi Arabia, um,
Yeah.
I had the chance to work with environmental protection when I was like 26 years old, something like that. And then when I was 28 years old, I had the two things that I knew for sure. One is that I want to work with something related to sustainability. And the second one is that I love management because I opened my
Ah,
first I opened my first company when I was 21 years old. So, and there was also a third thing that the world is very small, like we can do the things and we can make a change globally if you want. And then like really like when I was 28 years old, something like that, when I started this company, I was sure that what I was doing was something that I really want to do. And the vision, I was ready with a vision that what I was about to do was something important for the next decades. And then I really started like full of energy, really full of energy. Like since the beginning, I made the market research. I traveled to a few states in the United States, and I really saw how the market in the US was already investing billions of dollars in sustainability. And then I said, listen, I'm in the right place at the right time, and that's what's going to happen in the next decades to make a cleaner world. So, when you have energy, when you are excited, when you love what you do, it's question of time, in order to succeed. It's a lot of dedication, but it's question of time. And then after exactly 10 years, we were selected among 30,000 startups. According to Gen Global from Washington, we were selected the top 100 among 30,000 startups. I was really, really happy with this news. First of all, we were selected among the 250 better startups. And from these 250, they decided to choose 100. In the beginning was 30,000. And then like, if we were selected between this top 100, they would pay everything, like hotel, flight ticket, food, everything to go to Saudi Arabia and to present in a big event. So that's what happened. And I was really, really, really happy. That was like really like something amazing for all the
Felipe,
team.
we are talking about environment. I do have my trees behind me. You're talking about, your path, how you started. But at this time, most of the people do not understand what you're doing. And well, if you can deep on, we can go deeper in that one because your solutions are amazing, and I would like to share with the audience what you're doing. Why? And there's a reason why you was chosen to go there. Let's go on
Yeah,
that one.
yeah, that's true. Good point. So GLR Tech is a technology to filter pollutants and at the same time generate energy. So I would say in another way, when you have a truck or a vessel, ships or locomotives or generators, even industrial boilers or furnaces. So when you have something with combustion, with some kind of fire to burn the fuel, you have the smoke, right? You have the pollution, the air pollution from that. So we call it the exhaust gases. So
Correct.
this pollution, it goes directly to the atmosphere, and it's very harmful to our nature and the people
Yes.
and a lot of things. There are a lot of social environmental problems coming from it. So what we do, we have a gas filter. We have a filter. Other name for that is gas scrubber. So this gas filter makes all the important things to filter the pollutants before they go to the atmosphere. So they go clean to the atmosphere, the gases.
Okay.
And at the same time that we are doing that, we also have a system to generate energy from the thermal waste of these exhaust gases. So they are hot, like they have a lot of pressure also. They have a certain speed. So all of that is important for our process that in order to have this heat as a waste, we make a heat recovery and we make energy from the temperature of these pollutants that are going to the atmosphere. So it's like a 3-in-1 solution. It's a gas filter.
Okay.
It's
Yeah. No, please,
yeah,
please.
yeah, it's a gas filter. It generates energy from waste, and it also creates byproducts. because after we wash the pollutants. It's like a mix from a mix of the water with the pollutants. That's how we capture the pollutants, and that's how other gas scrubbers capture the pollutants. And the residual water, it's rich in certain chemicals that create byproducts, even to make fertilizers and to sell chemicals to the industry and so on. So it's like 3-in-1 solution, actually.
How many years have you been doing this one?
11 years.
11 years. And since the beginning, I mean, you may have pros and cons, and also there were some chapters in this history that were not so good. And because you are a startup, can you tell us which were those steps in where you didn't want to repeat it again, and that will be a good advice for the people who is going to start with a new startup?
Yeah, good question. I think the first thing is, when you have a startup, it's better to, of course, to invest in research and development. It's very important to invest in patents, of course, but one important thing is to start as fast as possible to go to the market, even if you're not perfect, even if you make a few mistakes, but the earlier that you start to make the mistakes is the best, And I think that because of the complexity of our technology, and also because of the responsibility to put something nearby an engine, nearby industrial boiler, you need to really know what you're doing. Because of all of that, we took more than I wanted to go to the market.
It took more?
We started more than I wanted.
So people did not believe it in the beginning?
Yeah, I would love to go to the market earlier than I did.
Okay.
We started the startup in 2013.
Okay.
And the first investor, when we really decided to call an investor, was 2017. So we started to work full-time in 2018. And then finally, we were ready to go to the market in 2020. And then the COVID started. And then it said, oh my gosh, now that we're finally ready, so let's give one step back. Let's work with simulations in order to improve the technology from our house, from our home. So the COVID started to be, a little bit different and a little bit more okay to work in 2022. So in 2022, almost after 10 years, 9 years after we started the startup, we went to the market. So it took a while. And then, of course, if you start in 2022, you're only going to see some fruits after 6 months or 1 year. And then 2023, we finally signed the first agreements, which were really good agreements. But it took us 10 years, Roberto, to sign the first agreement. So there is something that now it's another advice for people that have a startup or want to start a startup. You must be resilient. I'm very resilient. I'm writing a book about resilience. And
is that right?
Yeah. I'm writing a book. And that's very important to have resilience. Otherwise,
that will be for another Café con R, another coffee with R. We'll talk about the book.
Let's do it. I will be happy. I will be very happy. Yeah.
So I mean, this is very important. I mean, a big listener. If you want to be successful in your life and you know what you're doing, you need to be very patient and resilient, because you see, Felipe waited for 10 or 11 years in order to go into the market, and with all the resistance and plus the COVID and everything. So there were many disadvantages, but still you were pushing and pushing and pushing, because that where was the goal? I mean, you need to reach the goal, you need to reach this objective, and you went over there. So I mean, amazing. And how many customers do you have now?
We have 2. which one is I can say the name. One is ArcelorMittal, which is the biggest company in the stainless steel market. Biggest company in the world. They have more than 100,000 employees. And the other one is Energias Branco, which is a company here from Brazil, which is also a big company here. It's like 14,000 employees. It's a very good company here in the food industry. So these are the two first customers. We signed with them last year. We made 3 pilots for them. 2 for ArcelorMittal, 1 for Energias Branco. And we decided to wait the end of these pilots and then approach the market, because it was fast. It was only a few months. So I said, okay, we waited until now. So because only a few months, let's do it. Let's wait a few more weeks. And then now we are starting. Actually, we started last week to approach our pipeline of sales, which has around 50 customers, potential customers. And yeah, we just started to really like go strong now to the market.
And those that pipeline is only in Brazil, and you have other companies outside of Brazil.
We have all of them. They have subsidies in Brazil, but a lot of them they are international companies, companies that make.
I have a question. I have a question about this one. Is this because international companies do understand better about the ecology and the sustainability than our companies in Latin America? Is that the reason that when you approach these people and say, okay, Felipe, let's hear what is your solution? Because my experience is that I'm also in environment. So if I go to someone, I want to talk about sustainability, and in my case is housing, and people say, okay, and I need to start with the very basic, and at the end of the conversation, say, yeah, but shall we wait a few months or shall we wait a few years? If I talk with somebody, from Europe or from the States, and say, okay, let's come here and do it. And is this the same case?
Exactly. Perfect. So, the legislations are much stronger in developed countries, and it also helps us to automatically have a demand, for our product. So, yeah.
You see,
So
another thing, but this is for the politicians. Strong legislation. In Latin America, we have weak legislation. So we need to invite the politicians.
Exactly.
So, we have learned 2 things. I mean, you need to pursue, as you did it. And also, story for the politicians. Give us strong legislation. So now we will have a better world in Latin America.
Exactly. We are talking with a transportation sector of a big city in a developing country. They have almost 15,000 buses, and the owners of these companies, they said, yes, we really want your product, but we will wait a few months until we make sure that the legislation will say this or that. It's just like that. And in other countries, the legislation is really strong, and people need to do something, and we are part of this solution. So you're right. Good point again.
Good. So now, how do you see the future?
For me,
I mean, about your company, please.
About my company. Okay, so I really believe that when you want to do something for a better tomorrow, you need to be ready to make the change first where you live, and then afterwards all over the world. Why not? So I can really see our product in buses and trucks in the middle of my way. I can really see like a vacation, cruising the ocean in a beautiful vessel, and then like having the chance to know that this vessel has our product and has less impact in the atmosphere. I can really see the future of big transportation systems, big fleets of companies, like with things saying this bus is more sustainable because it has GLR Tech. So I can really see, like myself drinking a coffee, like talking with someone amazing like you, and then like watching the street. Wow, look at that! This bus has our product on it. So I don't want to say that because of pride. I just want to say that's because I really can see the importance of our product in a lot of places. And I will be really happy, like it will be one of the best fruits to know that we did it, that we make it. I will never do it alone. It's very important. All the engineers of our team, everybody that trusted us and as investors. And it will also be important, to have the right partners in order to reach the world. For sure, we will need to deal with amazing M&As, with amazing negotiations, with amazing partnerships. So I'm willing to do all the things that must be done. And I see a future with really good agreements in order to make it happen. So that's why I see the future, with GLR Tech almost all over the corners.
Felipe, I think that with all these last words I've heard, and with your history, I mean, 10 years and, pursue and trying to go for it. I mean, the hardest part of the story, it's gone. Now you do have everything to go ahead. And I'm sure that if I travel to Brazil or travel to Europe or maybe in Chile or whatever, I will in the future will see buses with your solution, and I will be very happy to see that, because I will remember that once in this year I was able to talk with a guy called Felipe Burman, uh, and he was the inventor and the idea behind this one, and the humanity will see cleaner air from all these exhaust systems, and you are adding a lot of energy and passion to sustainability, and I would like to really thank you about that one, because you were thinking about this one, and also thanks to the place that you were born. Last thing, and I don't want to miss this one. Can you give us a message in Portuguese to all your people in Brazil about the importance about GLR?
Yeah. Sim.
Please. Você,
Ok.
você.
O GLR Tech é muito importante para reduzir a poluição atmosférica, tanto no Brasil quanto no mundo. E juntos, com grandes empresas, com grandes parceiros, com grandes pessoas, nós chegaremos lá com muito sucesso. So I said that your tech is very important to the world. I think you understood everything, and that together we will make it happen. Basically, that's what I said. Actually,
Thank you very much.
I mentioned more. It was more words than I translated. Looks like Russian, right? They say like a big phrase, and then it's like, what did you say? Oh, 2 words. It's like in Russian.
No. You did good. I will do it also in Portuguese. I mean, my accent will not be as good as yours, but GLR o GLR es una prestadora de servicios que innova o sector de energia, atenuando el mayor sustentabilidade do sector. Está bom?
Muito bom. Muito bom.
Okay.
Muito bom.
Well, now I need to say goodbye. I mean, this half an hour was really, really fast. And I want to thank you very much, Felipe, for the opportunity to be here. For all the people listening to One Café with R or Café con R, please be tuned for the next one, because we will have a really nice person. And thank you very much to everyone who is both listening in Spotify, remember, and also watching us on YouTube. Thank you very much, Felipe. See you, and well, bye-bye.
Thank you very